And the thing is, we don't have that to spare because, like, this race is about who pushes it to the limit.
Ding ding, seconds out, round 2, as Phil Ellis is battling away again. And
had to get that done before passing the intervention vehicle. Could not afford to be too abreast to going through that at Schwedenkreuz.
No, but the differences between pace in these cars are negligible, as we're seeing Julian Andler in the Rootronic Racing Porsche going past the Lamborghini. Right, don't look at me like that, Snowy. Thanks, mate. Thanks, Neil. Say hi to Rebecca for me, won't you?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Neil Verhagen out of the BMW Junior Team car. That is at the moment sitting in 11th place. Dan Harper behind the wheel. Right, stop now. Right, say no more. JP and PMAC, thank you very much. And there, in fact, is a car off on the dust. The Cayman down.
Look
extraordinary. Either side of one of the lower class cars to come through the earlier part of the lap.
Side of a back marker and rejoined the circuit, and it's the electronic Porsche's getting a bit of a better run against the tail, almost rubbing
touch. I think they
touch with Farfus. They're battling along Zottinger now, and it looks though Andau has got the nose just about in front. He's on the right-hand side of the circuit, of course. When they get to there's a gantry, they go very fast through the
Wait for the BMW to come back on the left, both of them. There you go, straight back again, you see?
That's Harper. Harper was right there.
Because he's getting the draft off the other car, off the other BMW.
So Harper's done 4th and 32nd.
Yeah.
2 blinks of 3 hours.
Yeah, because he's used the side drafting off both cars and set himself through the gap.
And you know what? We've seen him do that in so many NLS races. That the BMW Junior Team racers have learnt time.
Thank you to them for allowing us to be involved with this. This is one of our favourite broadcasts of the year, and the ADAC for making it available pretty much everywhere around the world. The English language.
On the inside, it puts dust just as you're trying to get your grip, your traction going into Hohenrhein.
It was Ricardo Feller who was 2 wheels in the work straight away to decide what needed doing. They're decisive, and they work really hard. Sheldon von der Linde
You just have to accept it's part of how this place works. I think it's better. I think it's a far superior system than safety car, and I would advocate it across all formula, including that top one where they only had 2 cars in a team thing, whatever. That one. I'll do exactly the same there. Just very, very quickly, I'm spotting that there's you talk about other classes there, John. We've had a 245 BMW M240i. It's not one of the adrenaline cars, but Benno Zerlin in the pits over there, and that different set of tyres, different quality of drivers, pros, pro-ams, etc., and go and play on this extraordinary theatre, the Nordschleife.
I completely agree with you. Damaged BMW, it's the 331, it's the Manhattan Wheel sponsored car. It's made it back to the pits. There's damage to the front. I think a speeding violation of the code 60, 7 minutes.
Like, really think about this. It's not ideal conditions. You have traffic, and you can still do the pole position during the race. Where our theoretical is maybe 13, so 4 or 5 seconds.
Times And there is the confirmation for Ricardo Feller's non-respect of flag single. That's half a lap.
Based in Germany, but again, traffic is all over the place for the first two.
So that's
and
60.
fully on the grass. Ricardo Feller
Feller
going to the right side of the back marker, who's in the middle of the track. Shelton van der Linden's quite rare. He stayed on the black stuff.
It's not too late around the world, and you've got children watching this. I suggest you stop them because this is adult content only. Through goes Feller. And that, to me, looked as if Sheldon van der Linde was either told to let him by because of the 4-minute penalty, or that he had a problem.
Yeah.
Disregarding flag signals, 32 seconds plus 132 plus 232. Now, they're going to have to be very, very careful in that car because they will not like that. Sheldon van der Linde has stayed behind the wheel of the 98 after his pit stop. We've got a retirement from the race official now for the number 101 BMW, one of the two Yokohama cars. That was suspension damage on that car. Another big penalty coming, as well as some penalty points. This looks like a car that's been withdrawn. There's a lot of backslapping going on down. Oh my goodness, this is the number 3, the Green Hell Get Speed car.
Had that suspension damage. They fixed it very quickly. Maro Engel had that side-by-side contact into Hohenrain with a Porsche Cayman. And I thought they'd done a fabulous job getting it out, but maybe there's a greater problem.
Right rear shocker, wasn't it? Shocker unit.
Yeah, they changed the suspension and the shocker unit.
See, at RSL_studio, around the world, another half an hour has been eaten up in this race. We've got 16 and a half still to go. Oh, huge dive down the inside, up to the top of the hill on the Grand Prix circuit. The latest of late braking by Matthias. Held up coming into the pit lane a moment or two ago by the Manta, but before... It's nice though, we've got a little... so that's...
Rarely am I speechless.
Marcello getting held up coming into the pit lane a moment or two ago by the Manta, but before the pit lane speed limit line got down the left-hand side. That's, you know, that's Schumacher-esque levels. Koiber Hoffman, hello Koiber, nice to know you there. With reference to the flashing blue positional name markers on the wind speed, as a blue flagger, I'd find this invaluable working at night in a race like this. As a driver, totally distracting if they're visible from inside. It is good for, you know, you see, I think that's the Manthey car going back.
It's a Grella going.
It's going to the back of the pits and it's nose in. That's not good. That's not good at all.
Going all the way through, out to the back.
I've got some news that will not be pleasing for Aston Martin. That car's gone out the back of the pits, by the way, the Grella car now. Mini getting a little bit of a love tap from Alessio Picariello. Got a convoy of track vehicles here. Now, the Mini would drop back, right back off there. There were no flags, and there is no speed limit, even at the carousel, for passing vehicles. The only thing is you cannot be alongside. To the bridge just before the Clouded Carousel, now green, and the position is taken. Martin Ragginger, wow, like a rocket from a gun, then all the way across the green curbs, back on the gas, up the hill. And now what's happened there? Is there a yellow flag? There is a yellow flag. Ooh, good spot by Lucas Stoltz. The question being, was that seen by Philip Eng? Lots of headlamp flashing here. 40 as he went by. Number 33, Klaus Bachler, Alessio Picariello, and Sven Müller, Falcon Porsche, has been put in the garage and locked up for the night.
On reasonably cold tyres, did get through the good. No, he didn't really get through Goodyear Spanger, so was already struggling there, skating through the gravel trap. But it was definitely a right-hander where he'd lost the car, so rejoined onto the second element of the Goodyear Spanger there, continued on the black stuff, but then had yet more problems at the bottom of the hill where the cars eventually left the road. He's trying to warm the tyres up even now. Well, I say even now, we're not quite halfway round the Grand Prix Strecker just yet, but again, the rears just have no temperature at all, it would appear, and it goes skating off into the stones. It's almost like plunging into a pool as it address something maybe that is awry at the front end of the car. But this is more bizarre. I don't quite know how Frank Stippler has ended up off the road in the very first sector of the lap, Peter.
Very unusual, and like you say, the chances of Frank Stippler making simply a driving error are incredibly low. And the number one Audi in the wall as well, at what looks like a pretty similar place, Johnny.
It is. It's the first sector again.
Yes, it must be fluid. It has to be. When do you see Vervish and Stippler make mistakes? That happen. And this is Kay Kramer Racing. I think this might be our class leader in Cup 2.
Supra had well over a lap's advantage. I don't think you're ever going to get that in Cup 2 because they're so evenly matched, and that's a very high-speed entry into the first corner at the Yokohama S, and Moritz Krantz just could not get the car stopped in time. Nearly cleaned somebody else out as well as they were just turning in, ignorant to the fact that the 163 was at such high speed. It's the Dacia Logan has had a huge accident with one of the GT3 Porsches, car number
54, the dynamic Pirelli Porsche.
54, which is substantial, but nothing compared to the poor old Logan, which does not have a straight panel on it by the looks of things. Now, as over the curb at Schwedenkreuz goes the BMW immediately in front.
The number 20 Wochenspiegel Team Monschau Ferrari gets up into sixth, but at what cost? I think the stewards will take a pretty dim view of that one.